hot. Welcome to 2019. Welcome to the new year, and welcome to this video. This is exciting. You know, when I was thinking of things that I was going to do for the new year and what I wanted to accomplish this year, I realized that I wanted to kind of change up some of my video style. So in 2018, as I'm sure everybody is very aware of, the format of like doing a video series became very, very popular. I think that like a video series format really fits this kind of style of video that I want to do or make for like some of the things that I want to discuss. But in any case, let's just get down into the nitty-gritty of exactly what it is we're doing here today. So, because it is 2019, 2019 has nothing to do with this. I don't know why I keep bringing up 2019. Anyway, this cup, this mug, that's what it's called, a mug, is heavy. I don't know if you can tell just how big it is, but like, it's big. And it also says, best dad ever on it. So, yes. This video series I'm going to start, I'm titling it the Broke College Grad Diaries. And I'm making this video series because I think it'll be better for me to kind of do one video at a time, kind of talking about some of the things that I wish I had known about after graduating college, and and also going through college. Just things that I wish I had known about, or things to kind of think about and consider to hopefully help you through whatever journey it is you're going through with college. If you're going through college, or if you're contemplating going through college, I think that this video series is going to be really helpful for that. Each video in this video series is going to be based around a specific topic. I don't really have like a schedule for how often I'm going to be posting these videos and this video series and whatever. Just gonna kind of be like when I think of something that I want to talk about, that's just when I'll make a video about it. Just don't expect this to be super regular. It's just like everything else on my channel. Nothing about it is regular. With all that being said, welcome to episode 1 of the Broke College Grad Diaries. In this first episode of this series, I wanted to talk about, by the way, I've got my computer here so that I know exactly what I need to say and what I want to talk about. So if I keep looking away at stuff, that's what I'm looking at. So for this first episode, I wanted to talk about something that is very relevant to any college grad and anybody going through college right now. Really, I mean, just anybody. It doesn't even necessarily just apply to people in college. It applies to everybody who is searching for their ideal career path and trying to figure out exactly what they want to do with their life. So, this first episode is about applying for jobs, and kind of more specifically about applying for jobs that you maybe necessarily don't want to do, long term at least. I don't think I've talked about this a whole lot on this channel, but I graduated from college last June, and I graduated with a degree in kinesiology. And that degree is very broad. You can go into a bunch of different like medical fields. You can go into nursing, you can go into occupational therapy, you can go into being a physician's assistant, you can be a physician. And in my case, I was planning on going to school for being a physical therapist in grad school. However, when I got to my senior year of college, I realized I don't want to do this. I had like internships and just like certain classes that I'd been taking, and I was learning more about like what physical therapy is and like going through grad school and the whole process with that. And it just really did not sound appealing to me at all. And I really wish that I had had that opportunity to get exposed to that sooner so that I could have realized that I really didn't want to do it before my last year of college. But here we are. We're here, and so that is the degree that I graduated in. And so I bring that up because the fact that I no longer want to go into a career field related to what my major is now makes it a little bit harder for me to actually find a job that I want to do, because I'm technically not really qualified for some of the jobs that I'm more interested in now. After graduating college and realizing that I don't want to do anything related to the degree that I got, I was kind of at a loss, really. The hard thing about kinesiology is even if I don't want to go to grad school, I don't have any of the qualifications to get into anything else really related to like medical fields and whatever. And I really don't want to work in those fields either. So I spent most of my summer and fall, I've spent like over 6 months really just looking for random jobs and looking at things that interest me and trying to figure out maybe where I fit the best. And I will be honest, it has been a very long journey and a very unfulfilling journey, because there is plenty of just rejection, or like people, companies never responding to you and never getting back to you, never really looking at your resume and whatever. Now I'm lucky to be able to say that I will be getting a job that I should be getting a job from an old company that I worked with while I was going to college. Now, am I necessarily excited to be working for that company again? Do I think that that is going to be a long-term career for me? No. And I think that an important part of applying for jobs, and not just applying for jobs, but figuring out what it is you want to do with your life, is realizing that you're not going to have it all figured out within just a couple of months, Like, I think I spent a lot of my summer, a lot of these past like 6+ months, really just thinking that one day, if I just kept looking through all these different jobs and just kept looking and looking and looking, that something perfect would just like stand out to me, and it would be the dream job, the one that I've been waiting for weeks and whatever. But in reality, it just it takes time, and it also requires you to get out there and to put effort into finding a job and into doing things that maybe you necessarily don't want to do, doing jobs that you necessarily don't want to do, and spending a couple months doing that. Because really the important thing to realize about doing a job that maybe you're not super in love with, like working at a grocery store or something small like that, is that you have the ability to leave those jobs whenever you want. So just because you get a job with them, with a company, with a grocery store, whatever, does not mean that you can't keep looking for other jobs and you can't keep exploring your options. It means that you will have steady income and that you will be able to feel a little bit more financially secure while you continue looking for something that is more related to what you want to do. Or while you figure out that maybe you want to go back to grad school, or something along those lines. You don't need to just stick with a job just because it's giving you an income. You need to be able to stick with a job while it keeps you happy and fulfilled. So one thing that always was hard for me while I was applying for jobs, and I feel like this is something that I kind of like came to a realization with recently, and I feel like probably affects other people too when they're applying for jobs that aren't necessarily what they want to do. Is that we get into this place where we can be kind of obsessed with our job titles. You know, I don't know if that is true for every person, but I know that it is true for me, and that I got very, like, I don't know, I almost want to say kind of defensive, not really defensive, but I just felt like because I had this college education, whatever that's supposed to mean, that I shouldn't have to work in a grocery store for X amount of dollars. That I felt like I was more qualified to work some bigger job and whatever. And I realized that it was all coming down to a fear of me having to explain to friends and family and other people that I work in a grocery store doing X, Y, and Z, you know? And that is just like, I don't know, I think I just realized one day that it's like, who honestly cares what your job title is? Who honestly cares at all? Because all that really matters is that you are working a job, you're making an income, and you are getting job experience. And so how other people perceive you doesn't affect you. And if someone perceives you as lower than them because you work in a grocery store, or you work in a fast food restaurant, or whatever, if you do any of that, then they aren't people who you need in your life anyway, because they are clearly too obsessed with their status in life. That ain't around here in 2019. And that in the grand scheme of everything in the whole wide world, nobody cares that somebody living in Oregon is a cashier, or a food runner, or works at fucking some fast food restaurant. Nobody cares. I already kind of touched on this a little bit, but I just wanted to reiterate that just because you're in a job doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to leave whenever you want. You have the choice and the ability to leave a job whenever you feel like it is no longer serving you in the right ways. And like I said, you can always talk with your current employer to see if there's something they can do to maybe help you grow a little bit, to help you make more money, to help you feel more fulfilled in your position. I would highly suggest talking with them. And if there's nothing that they can do for you, and you end up leaving that job, and you go and apply for other jobs, then you totally have the ability to explain to those future employers why you left and why you didn't feel like that job was no longer serving you in the right way. Oh, fuck. I spilled my tea. I think finally, to end all this, it's okay to do a job that you're totally not in love with, as long as you don't stop looking. You don't stop trying to grow and trying to find that dream job, find where you really thrive and succeed, and where you can help other people and you can contribute to making a better environment, you know? If you stop looking for that for yourself, and you just say to yourself one day that you are just going to be stuck in the same job doing the same thing over and over again, and you never feel like you have the ability to leave, then you are automatically just cutting off all those opportunities from yourself mentally. Like, you are telling yourself that you just don't have the ability to find the thing that you're really looking for. And that's just not true. You just have to be willing to keep looking for it and keep working for it. No more just like sitting around waiting for opportunity to come knocking, because opportunity doesn't come knocking. You have to go and find it. That's pretty much the end of this video. I'm going to leave some like bullet points down in the little comments, or the little description. That's the word. The little description box. I'm going to leave that down there just to kind of be a little overview of the things we talked about. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this series. I'm really excited to keep doing this. This is actually really nice to just kind of sit down and talk it out. If you have anything you want to add, if you have any kind of comment or feedback from me, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. I guess that is really the end of that. Remember, I am in fact the best dad ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!